There is no way around this. If you are consistently doing the wrong things, you will never reach your language learning goals. Mistakes are the killers of language gains. If you can eliminate these 5 things, I guarantee you that you will see a change in your language development in under a week. Before we get deep into this video, there's a theme that we're going to constantly return to that is going to help you tremendously as you become a language learner. Seek to understand and seek to be understood. That's it. Basic level communication. If you approach things in this manner, you will have a far better chance of reducing the pressure and anxiety on yourself as you try to learn to speak and understand a new language. One of the best things that you can do as a language learner is to eliminate decision fatigue. If you could have everything structured in a way that gives you the knowledge to know, this is what I do on day 1, day 3, week 1, month 2, month 3. Oh, wait, that does exist. Our program is out now, my friends. Check the links right down below. If you want to join our beautiful community, you can do so. It is on pre-order. Already started letting some students in so they can get a taste of the value that we are going to be offering in this course and so much more. I'm not going to say anything more. Go check it out. The link is right down below. If you're looking for a place with crazy positive energy, discipline, motivation, accountability, that is the place for you. Click the link right down below before the price goes up, because it's going to go up, because we're putting lots of value in there. Go check it out. All right, let's go. There are 3 issues here: overanalyzing our material, overanalyzing ourselves when we go to speak, and overanalyzing when we go to read, listen, or when we hear something. This is a problem as an adult. When we were younger, we just let things happen. We let go. It is the #1 mistake. If you are in your head, whether it's language learning, speaking, playing a sport, doing whatever, you are not going to allow flow to come in. This is the one thing, an ability to handle and relax with chaos. It sounds abstract, but it's truly very concrete. I'm going to give you guys an example. When you are listening to someone talk, you are not analyzing each and every word. The reason you're not doing that is because you're at a level of flow. The language is so deep within you, at least to some degree, especially with context, that you don't have to look at every word. But what happens is, and thanks to our schooling, the traditional method has us thinking we need to go word by word, list by list at the beginning. How do I do this, right? We'll get to vocab later on, because there are some people that just don't understand that they did not have flashcards when they were 2. Your parents didn't do that. You learned a language without flashcards and without having to learn vocab specifically. You asked, all right? Because as I said, seek to understand and seek to be understood. This is the key to all of this. What you want is to focus on the whole picture. Can you understand and make sense of everything that's happening in what you're reading, listening, or watching? That's the switch that'll allow you to just take in and be cool with the entire situation. Me, as a huge meditator, that's another skill and something that I definitely think everyone should add, because what it does is teaches you to slow down the chatter, slow down everything else that's going on around you, and just focus on what matters, what you decide that matters. That's the point of not overanalyzing. And it's the very first point, because if you can get past this, you can just start downloading the language onto your brain without you even realizing it. Too much time is spent on things that are not giving you a return. Now, this is where you need to analyze things, because I'm betting that the majority of you have studied another language in school for many years, and you're sitting here watching this video about what to do when to learn a language. Do we have a problem with our schooling and the traditional method? Yes, we do. But that's what we need to do. If you're spending too much time in an app that's making you play games, if you're spending too much time in your mother tongue, if you're spending too much time with a tutor discussing rules or speaking in English or in your mother tongue, this is all time technically wasted. What you can do, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun while you're trying to learn these languages, you need to have a focus on things that are going to give you a better return. What that would look like is spending as much time as possible in a level and place that's giving you the input that allows you to learn, because you'll understand this. A whole host of problems you'll have in a language is going to be based on vocab. The problem, if you've not seen our flashcard video, is that The best way to do this is to have a focus, an interest that you love, one that is going to keep up your motivation and your discipline to return to it, and it's going to allow you to think about it when you're not studying. We want to make sure that your reading, your writing, your listening, your speaking, your thinking is all aimed at a center point. We want to create a cocoon, a world for you to live in. That way you have the ability at the end of this to know that that is where I want my 20%. If I can have all of my input and all of the things that I'm studying around that at the beginning, and even further, as you get better and better, you will do wonders. Always look to invest your time on the things that are going to bring you the most value. If you do that, you will make some serious gains. Inconsistency will kill you, period. The only way to make true and lasting gains is to stay consistent with your work. And so now that we've already gone through and said, don't overanalyze, make sure that the things that you're doing are actually going to give you a good return. And we've done our 7-day language challenge. We've done other different types of challenges. And we've said to you, 15 minutes is more than enough for you to make some sort of gain. But the truth is, you got to string together a bunch of days. Your brain has to understand that it's always going to be something for you. The worst thing you can do is have 1 to 3 days of work and then 6 weeks off, or 3 weeks on and then 3 years off, right? So your brain is trying to make sense out of all these new sounds and words, characters and things that are coming in. If you can't give it a chance to make a pattern out of that, you will take forever to learn this new language. You have to constantly be in contact with the language. Anything that really gets you interactive in the language is helping, but like we said, the things in the 20% are going to help you quicker, faster, with more ease, and get you more. But of course, if you want to go play the duo thing and whatever, that's fine. It's going to give you something. If someone forced me to choose only 2 things that I would have to do consistently to learn a language, I would make sure that the first one is a quality piece of material that I can watch, pick up context, so I can hear and see how they're pronouncing and doing things. The second would be a quality, thick book, some story that I could wrap my head around. Fiction is great. Stories are great because that's what they're going to do to your brain. They're going to stick in there and just stay, and you're going to tell yourself, you're going to think about it, and it's going to reach your subconscious. Those are the things, if I had only just a little bit of time, that I would spend doing. It would not be on trying to learn one word here, this, that, and the other, because the vocab gains that you have, to be perfectly honest, majority of them will come from reading. If you can be consistent with a story, right? Maybe even the same story that you have as a movie, which is possible, it will change the way that you do things, right? And you have to be consistent with it for enough time to get your brain to pick up on the pattern. Once your brain gets the pattern and your subconscious understands what's going on, you don't have to put in that energy, all right? You won't think so hard, and it's crucial for what you really want to do. This next mistake I call the over-tutor. I don't know if that's a word, but it is now. What do I mean by this? If you put the responsibility to learn a language on your tutor, you will not learn. A lot of people pay for a course, pay for things to do, and then they'll go and then they'll just show up for the class. They'll sit there. They won't do the homework. Everything in language learning is about doing the work, all right? A tutor, the best way to use a tutor. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a video on this. I don't care if it bombs, because if you can structure and find good tutors, it's gold, all right? You have to structure it. They have to work with you. It has to be something. There's this give and take that you have to understand, which is why I want to make a full video on it. But to get you guys some simple guidelines on how to get the most out of your tutor, you need to think of your tutor as simply a test. At the end of the week, after you've done all this, you need to be measuring how much more fluid you are in your understanding and in your speaking. That's it. If you start to use a tutor in that way, they can start to become completely involved in what you are doing and trying to learn, and that's it. Give them the focus. It should not be the other way around. It's a massive mistake to just give up that power of what you want to learn in a language to somebody who doesn't know you. You know you. All right? And because you know you need to set the standards, set the tone, set the rules, and set the direction. All right? It just doesn't make sense any other way. There are so many different schools of thought for what is the best time for a student to start speaking. Should they speak from the beginning? Should they not speak at all? There are some schools that don't allow you to speak for months and months and months. Where I stand is somewhere in the middle. Because if you understand the principal theme, seek to understand and seek to be understood, then you can utilize your speech as a primer and way to get back some information that you will understand. Where the problem is that people are attempting to speak without having the vocab, without having proper input, without having a true pattern in their brain. You're forcing it. And if you force it too soon, you're going to delay yourself. It's not that you're never going to get there. You won't let the process happen. Think about what happens to kids. Think about how much you explain, how much the tutor, being parents or friends, family, how much they go, this is a phone. You can call people. Look at all of that. Look at all the context that you get. This is a book. You can read in the book. That's what it looks like. And because so much of that you can skip as an adult, which is a beautiful thing because you can learn, in my opinion, as long as you can access this part of your brain that will allow you to kill the chatter, that will allow you to just simply think and be okay with chaos and be okay with looking and sounding stupid, with not understanding everything that's going on. I think adults can truly learn quite quickly. We don't have to re-explain concepts to you. You know what this is. We have to explain this to a child. A child has to figure out what a book is. Why are there lines in there? Okay, we have to write. What's writing? Okay, what's this word? They have to learn all of that. You don't. So that's a side tangent, but it's just to say that when you are trying to speak early on, stay in your lane, all right? Stay within the confines of what you know completely. If all else fails, remember to get more input. You always want to slightly be doing a little bit more, slightly a little bit more, slightly a little bit more. Challenge yourself just a little bit more. One excellent way to structure your learning days is to make sure that when you have your most amount of energy, take the time to utilize something that's in your level. Whether that's, I've talked about graded readers. Those are books that, are made for language learners, or Peppa Pig, cartoons that you've already seen, movies that you know every single word, every single line, a series that you've seen 80 times and binged. Watch those so the comprehensible input is very, very, very good. And then when your day is done and you're going to find that Netflix at some point, go watch something that's still in that language, but that's going to give you what the natives are speaking. And just put the subtitles there and let go, all right? You're just doing that one for fun. Okay, what that does is pull you forward, all right? And because you're spending the time doing something that is of your level here, but you've got something up here that's pulling you forward. You get those things that we do in every language. We slur, we use slang and all those things. And so what you're doing is you're pulling from both angles. And what will end up happening over time is that you will find yourself understanding that, okay, I don't really need that as much. And you're pouring yourself here. And stuff is starting to come down here. And then boom, you'll meet in the middle at a point where you can flow back and forth. And then you'll start to move yourself to only the stuff that's made for native speakers. That's something that I do consistently. There are some other things that I do, of course. And if you guys want to check out more of those hacks, those tips, and if you just want something that's going to structure so you don't have to think and know where I should be truly spending my time, click the link right down below. Join this community. There really isn't a one-size-fits-all language learning method, but there are some things you can avoid, and there are some habits from the successful learners that you can incorporate every single day. And that's exactly what our course does for you in those first month, weeks, days, and it's what you need, my friends. Leave us a like, comment, subscribe. We will see you guys later. We love you. Come join the community. Peace out.